Hello, I'm James Mcnamee. I've been making music as a hobby for around 8 years on and off under the name Salient. It was what producers were doing with breakbeats during the 90s that really hooked me into the electronic music scene, especially the drum and bass scene was a massive influence. During this video I hope to give you a small insight into perhaps how you can get your breaks fuller and good enough for use in your own tracks. Okay, so once you've found a break you want to work with, I've chosen this one. It's got a lot of nice little percussive shuffles and hits in it, so it's going to make our final beat sound quite interesting. The first thing you want to do is slice each drum hit separately. And you need to do this at the 0 point crossing so as to eliminate any clicks and pops. Okay, so once you've sliced your break, the next thing to do is create a MIDI item from each of these drum hits. So I've got a button to do this here. And as you can see, it's made a MIDI item with a chromatic MIDI section in it where each note is going to trigger the drum hit in our sampler. Once you've loaded your drum hits into the sampler, you want to make sure that they're on the corresponding keys from your MIDI item. From then we can start to play around with the pitch and the volume envelopes to get the drums sounding nice and tight. Once you've got a pitch that sounds good and you've adjusted your envelopes, now you can start to think about rearranging the beat in your MIDI sequencer, and also you can start to layer other drum hits on top to give it that punch that's sought after in drum and bass. The first thing to do is select some drum hits which sound like they're going to gel well with the break. I've chosen these two for this one. And from here we're going to start to just play around and mix in and see what they sound like. Once you've got a few layers that you like the sound of, it's then important to adjust the envelopes so that the transients aren't hitting at the same time. So, for example, with the snare, we'd just put the attack back a little bit until it sounds nice. So once you've got some layers you like the sound of, and you've rearranged your MIDI so you've got a beat you like the sound of as well, what you want to do is then send all of your drums to different channels and then eventually a bus, so a snare to a snare channel, bass drum to a bass drum channel. This way you can process them separately, and also you can send them to this bus and process them all at the same time. It's also wise to then send that bus to another effects send so you can apply some reverb. Okay, so after a lot of playing around, adjusting the EQs, pitching and finding the right balance of effects, what I'm going to do now is bounce the break down. I always recommend you do this because you will start to build up a massive arsenal of drum beats that you can go to and put in whatever track. So that's it really. I hope you enjoyed the video and have fun making your own.